Hey everybody, it's Strict9 with Strict9 GP, and welcome back to another episode of my Draft Day Sports College Basketball 2020 playthrough. Just getting through this off season, pretty deep into recruiting. This episode, I'll probably focus on recruiting and take a look at the team, let you see that, show you where we're at after last season. One of the things that I've got to start out with, though, it's dawned on me finally after the end of the last season that this game is really hard. It's which I'm fine with. If the payoff's there, I think I love taking on a challenge with a game where it's kind of it's not really cut and dried. It's not really black and white or just right, everything's kind of spoon fed to you where you have to kind of work to figure it out, work to get better at it. So I believe the payoff's going to be there because when I've done some things here, made some changes, I can see how it adjusts and how it impacts the gameplay. So I'm hoping that's going to be there, and I'm fine with it. Hopefully you are too, but just, I guess, be aware that I'm really still learning this game. 20 episodes into it. Into season 3 on this playthrough, and I played a little bit before this, and it's really tough. And I think what really makes it tough is, just as in real life, if you take on a team with a low prestige or in a low prestige conference, which Ohio Valley Conference is better than some, but there's been, I think Murray State had a good run in the tournament once. Belmont has been a perennial competitive team. There's some chance for a team from this conference to get far, but for the most part, it's a low rated conference, and that's challenging in this game because you are really going to have a hard time getting the recruits that you need. And so I'm learning, though, like I say, as I went along. One of the things that I wanted to highlight before we get started in simming ahead is, if you didn't get a chance to see last episode, what I did is I hired a new assistant coach who was a little bit better at scouting. Not a lot better, but he was better than the previous coach. He was at a 2 scouting ability, whereas the previous coach was at a 1. Well, right off the bat, that made a difference in how the team is scouted. One of the things I noticed was the definite players like Jepson, who were rated pretty high to begin with, and they've got good individual potential ratings. They kept their potential, their current and potential overall. But some of these guys were turned upside down, really. Mike Holland, for instance, had a little bit better potential rating with the previous scout, not so this time. Travis Hart, on the flip side, is rated a little bit better as a freshman than Holland. Scott Jensen, Speedy McMillan, those guys rated a little bit better at point guard and shooting guard than Ivory, who has very little potential with this scout or assistant coach scouting. But I think I probably should have kept going with that strategy, and I should have just put a lot of money, even though I was trying to save the money for the recruiting, because I've got 6 scholarships open. I should have probably put money into either a assistant coach who had better development ratings for practice, or somebody who's going to be better at recruiting. 2 out of a 5 rating is really low. You're not going to get much out of that. And near as I can tell, I'm not seeing a whole lot. Like, this guy's been with the team since I started this playthrough. I see virtually no ratings progression from him. So 31 in player development, 31. He's moved up 1 point since he started with us, and he is the guy who's leading the practices and is going to have a big impact on development. So I really should have invested, I think, in a better coach. And whether I'm here, with this team next season which I don't really plan to be. I'm hoping to move on. But if I have a bad season, I may not be able to move on to the job that I want. So if I'm here next year, I'm going to work on getting better coaches on the staff. And if I'm at another team, same deal. I'm going to make sure. I would like to see balance, and I'd like to see 3 stars or better. I think, especially for this team and this conference, that's going to be how we're going to move to the next level, is getting some better, I think, better assistants as well as better recruits. But wanted to hit on that. And I also wanted to thank some of you guys, too, who have been commenting, like Christian Wilson is one I've noticed who's given me some great pointers. Nick Medici's, I think, is another one. Prod Robin Hood, if I'm saying that right. I really appreciate it. Sounds like you guys have been playing this game maybe more than I have. I'm appreciating the tips that you're giving me. Some I've tried, just about every one of them. Some of them I haven't been successful with. Some, you basically told me something I didn't know that I needed to know. So I appreciate that. But I want to get into recruiting, but I also want to hit on something really big. And this is something that, if you've been following the playthrough, we always knew this potential was going to be there. But my leading scorer from last year, my best player, my freshman, best freshman recruit that I picked up, shooting guard McInnes, I forget his first name, Scott maybe, McInnes, he transferred out, which was, that was going to be, and I think, a good possibility, because the guy hated the coach. His relationship with the coach, I guess me, was always low. He had a better relationship with the team, but his coach relationship, which is something you'll see under the player profile, you got coach and team relationships. His coach relationship stayed way down in the red, and I think at the end of the season was 4 or 5%. And when you contact the player, it's something that I hope that others have mentioned this to the developers, and I hope it's something to work on. You really have no options to improve or work on the coach attitude. If his attitude's bad with you, that's different than saying, "Hey, you need to shape up." That's not going to help. I don't think if the guy's already got a bad relationship with you, telling him he needs to shape up is not going to help. You can work on, it sounds like these are geared more towards his relationship with the team, and I couldn't imagine if a guy has a bad relationship with me. I can't imagine benching him or suspending him is going to work a lot of the time. So that was something that I hope maybe gets addressed with a future version, maybe just given another option, because I did not know how to fix that relationship. He said that he wanted more playtime, so I gave him more playtime. He was by far the best player we had. He scored 16 plus points a game. I think the second player on the team was around 10. He was player of the game eight or so times over the course of the season. So that was a big disappointment, and it's left us really thin, and I'm worried. We've got a couple guys here at small forward who are really our best players by this new assistant coach's scouting, and they're both, unfortunately, they're both seniors, and that's going to be Jepson and Marshak. So what I've really been looking at is Jepson is definitely going to be the starter at small forward. He had a good year for us last season, just to give you an idea of what he did. He averaged 26 minutes, less than he did the previous season, but scored more, had more rebounds, was a good all-around player for us. I expect he's going to be our best player this year, and he's a good outside shooter is what's really driving that. I'm really thinking about putting Marshak as the shooting guard and seeing how that works, because his free throw and outside shooting is pretty good. He's got some good ball handling and rebounding abilities. I think, based on the way he's scouted, he's probably going to move up in that depth chart. And then McMillian is probably going to be he's sophomore guy I recruited last year. He's probably going to be getting most of the time at point guard. But that's, I guess, a ways away. Power forward, it's going to be Greg Laws, who came off the bench a lot last year and played better than the starting power forward. He's going to be the starter, I think, at power forward this year. But I want to give Ike King, who is a freshman that I recruited for this year, 4-star potential. I want to give him some chance and play time. And I'm going to have to keep his relationship going because he's expecting starter minutes. So it's possible that I do what I did last year because Greg Laws doesn't really care about playtime. I may start King and split their time, kind of. And then center, it's going to be Hollins the senior. Mallet, he has some really good upside for potential, and Travis Hart is a 3 potential. He's wants solid minutes, so at least I've got more depth, I think, but it might come down to me giving Mallet a lot of time because he's got the size that I like, and I'm hoping that he'll be okay. But let's move ahead then and get into some recruiting. We've already got our schedule down too, and this is a tough start. 5 games on the road. At Buffalo, at Ohio State, those will be 2 pretty tough challenges, I think. But outside of that, maybe not in Nevada last week. Well, Indiana on the road. The schedule looks to be about like it was last year. And once again, if we come out of it with 6 wins, I'll be happy. Problem is, it's upside down in terms of home and away. Just 4 games at home, 7 away in those first 11 games. I imagine that's going to lead to a pretty shaky start. So I'm not feeling good about this year. I think we're going to struggle to get into 500. Honestly, I think 500 would be a miracle. But let's take a look at the recruiting class. I've already got one scholarship offered out there. I'm really just, as soon as these guys get to where they're ranking us as a top 10 school, I'm pretty much going for them. This is a guy, I like his stats from high school. He's a shooting guard. He's good outside shooter, good at scoring, has good athleticism. So I'm hoping that, the way he's rated, and it's not very good in terms of his rankings, I'm hoping that he'll give me depth because at the moment, looking at who we're going to lose and who we need with 6 scholarships available, I think we need players at every position, but small forward is where we've got to focus on it. And I'm really hoping to get 2 recruits. This guy's just a walk-on because I ran out of players. So I want to get 2 recruits at small forward. I want to get 1 shooting guard, if not 2. Point guard, I'd like to have 1. And then power forward, I'd like to have 1, maybe 2 power forwards and a center. So that would fill up the 6 scholarships that we got available. So with everything looking the way it is now, I'm not sure how that's going to work. But what I want to do is look at the recruits that we've got. I'm going to look by position. So first off is point guard. I'm really liking this DeJuan Thomas, even though he's in Alabama. He's a 3-star. He's rated pretty high. He's got, good shooting, free throw shooting ability, stealing. He's passing. He could be a well-rounded point guard, but he might be a little bit above what we're able to get. I'm still working on him, though. And he came in for a school visit and actually, I think, looked pretty good, the school visit. He was happy with the visit. So, that's good. Garner Rainey is another one that I'm really trying to get. So what I'm really working on is getting these guys to where I am their top pick, and then I'm just offering the scholarship right away. Here's another one. I think if it's more realistic, even though he's rated pretty highly, I'm still working on him. So I'm going to, I think he's been to see us. He's really wanting to play close to home, which is good. Let me double check and see how his visit with us went. And I wish there was a better way to see that. I think you should be able to tell it from the recruiting screen. Let me make sure if yeah, here it was. He had a cool visit. He likes campus and the people. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give him a call, try to get some more information. I've already pitched him on school location, so I'm going to see if team prestige, it's at the bottom of his priority list, which is good. Program facilities, didn't get much from him, but we got some. Now I want to look at the small forwards. That's where I've got a lot of work to do. This guy, Nate Sheehan, he is second right now, and I'm kind of going for him because I do like how his ratings look and the play, the stats he's got in high school. So I pitched him location. I'd like to see how some of these other things go. Let me see. I'm going to give him a call, and just see if I can get more information from him. So program facilities, not big a deal, and he's done with that. And I think we're out of phone time for this week. So he's already come to the school. Now Andy Child, I don't know if I could host him or not. He's wanting to play close to home, but I think Covington, Kentucky, maybe that is close to Austin Peay. Let me see if he would take a visit. He won't, so it's probably not too close. So these guys have visited. Ryan Clark, Jamel Emerson. I could take either one of those as well because, again, I've noticed these guys that I've recruited, the 2 seasons that I've recruited them, I've seen, like Ike King, for instance, I noticed that his high school stats were really good his senior year. So I think in some ways he came in ranked higher than he was when I recruited him. So I'm hoping that that's part of the guessing game or the work here too. So I got a couple guys here to work on. They've been here already. Power forward, not much here that I can get. I don't think Matt James will come visit us, but let me see if I can give it a try. Nope, he's declined. I wonder if any of these guys will come. Okay, so we can host Marshall Williams, and I'm just holding, and this was a suggestion, I think, I can't remember whether it was Nick or Christian who gave me this suggestion. It was like, hey, just invite them to come to campus, and sometimes you'll be surprised at how they react to it. So like Lewis Morton, he's already favoring us, and I need power forward, but not as much as small forward, so I may hold off on that. Of the 2 of these guys, if it comes down to me just having to settle with the one, I'm really intrigued by Lewis Morton's size. So I'm going to give it a week, see how that visit with the guy in Kentucky went, and I may go ahead and offer him a scholarship. Now at center, I'm trying to get one center. Gardner Rainey is the one I'm really wanting to work on. He had a good visit with us, but we're still just 5th on his list. Looks like he would probably rate pretty highly as a scorer anyway, scoring center. I've got pretty much everything I can get from him. I don't know if I've tried to get any parent information when I've called him. Location looks to be his biggest thing. Maybe academics to a certain degree. I can't visit at the moment. I don't think. I've scheduled to watch film. Looks like I'm scheduled to visit him. Yeah, I think I am. I did schedule to visit Gardner Rainey, so I'm going to pitch him the location. And then let me go back to shooting guard to make sure there's anything there. I mean, Curtis Riley, I have already offered him. Anthony Smith, or who's the other one? Drew Leggins. Jeez. Not good. Jermaine Green, we're up there second on his list. If it came down to it, I'd probably pick him as well to give me 2 shooting guards. He has not visited, or so I think I'm going to have Jermaine Green come to the school and watch some video on him. And so that'll do this week's recruiting. Now, we can change the schedule if we wanted to. I mean, there's some games in there that they're going to be tough, like the Indiana for sure. But I'm gonna leave it as it is. I feel like I really wanted to make kind of a not as balanced of a schedule this year as I did last year, but I really kind of hesitated and didn't put it in there before it went through. So I'm just going to go ahead and advance with it. I mean, the big thing is going to be how well we do in the conference anyway. All right, so we've got quite a few messages here, still in recruiting in the contact period. And just to give you an idea on what you can do during these different periods. And so we've got about a month here in the contact. That's really key because we can call the recruit, watch game film as usual, but we can either host or visit the recruits. So this contact period is really important for getting the recruits on board, making your pitches. So we had a lot going on this week. So Roman Davis, so he liked the visit. Garner Rainey also liked the visit. Foss School liked the visit. Brad Caspers. Now, Jermaine Green did not think the visit was worthwhile, so we're probably looking at moving him off. I forget. And another thing, I wish they would kind of let you know, like here somewhere, whether they were interested or not. It says he didn't like the visit. Now, how's Barry Jackson below him? What I like about him is he's moving up. Location is key. I don't think I can call. Yeah, I can call him. I'm going to give him a call, see if there's anything else I might need to pitch with him. Playing time. Conference prestige. It's not a big concern. And let's look at academics. Man, how about his parents? All right, I'll just give up on him. He's wasting my call time. But what I will do is I'll let him visit the campus, because I've already been turned down by these two. Now, Bullock, he's not on our list right now, so let me watch some film because I don't know much about him. But I'm going to let Barry Jackson, I'm going to host him because I've got to get these 2 shooting guards. I've already got this guy with a scholarship, and he's not that great. I'm just hoping that he looks as good as his stats. But going back to the visits, Marshall Williams, he didn't like the visit. And I think he was one that was maybe a power forward. Yeah, he was out of state. So that didn't really do us any good. So I can probably move him off the call list. Kevin Hammond, I don't think he will come. So Lewis Morton, we're now his number 1 school. And I think I'm just looking for one power forward at this point. And these two, Morton is rated a little bit higher, and I do like his size. I think that would be pretty good to have this guy's size at power forward. So I'm gonna offer him a scholarship, and that would get the power forward out of the equation, at least for now. So that would give us Harriman, King, and that recruit if we could sign him at power forward. And Harriman, I redshirted last year, he's got some good potential. I have a feeling this guy gets play time, he's going to develop really quick, but that's just my guess. So back to recruiting. On the point guard, I'm just wanting one point guard, right? And we moved the other guy off. He doesn't have any interest, but he's number one. He was really impressed by that visit. I'm going to go ahead and offer him a scholarship. So that gives us 3 scholarships left between center and I guess small forward. Rainey, man, we need to move up with him. I don't know what it's going to take. Brad Caspers, how's he doing? He's also rated pretty highly. I haven't visited him, but for some reason it's not available to visit him right now. He has visited the school, and I think did not like the visit. Yeah, so he did like that we came to visit him. Let me give him a call. See what other pitch areas are out there. Playing time, it's very important to him. Conference prestige, it's very important to him. This guy's going to be hard to get. I can tell you right now. I mean, those two things really would hurt us right off the bat, I think. I do like his size. You know, I mean, he could come in right away and take over, really. He has visited the school. I don't know why I can't visit him. I thought in the contact period that we could visit a recruit at home. Maybe that's because, it's one more week that I can do that. All right, so Garner Rainey, I don't know. There's nothing else I can do for him. I think I've talked about his parents. But I'm going to say I'm in the top 3. Okay, that's good. All right, so money's not an issue. All right, so let's go ahead and advance. See if we get any updates to some of these recruits. I don't know if there's some that are still waiting to visit or not. Okay. So his decision. He's going to Tennessee Tech. That really stinks. Barry Jackson did like the visit, so he may be the point guard, I think, if I'm remembering his position right. So let's start him off. No, we don't have anybody at point guard right now. Let's see, interested recruits. That's it. This guy right here, Cleveland Wilson. We're 4th on his list. Shooting guard. We got Curtis Riley. I mean, this guy's interested, but why? I mean, we're 10th. I mean, could I really? I mean, location is such an important thing for him. Joe Christian, we're not on his list. If I could get somebody like this, that would be great, but so can I visit this guy? Elon Waters. I can host him. I can visit him. It's expensive, but I'm going to visit him and use playtime as the pitch. So, moving on to small forward where we really need help. I think recruiting class to offered a power forward and a shooting guard, and it's small forward where we're going to really need the help. Wow, this is so hard. I mean, the recruiting is just so tough to do in this game, and it may be that if you pick a low conference, low prestige team, you're just almost gonna have to blow off recruiting in the sense that you're just gonna have to settle for the 1 stars you can get in. Maybe I'm wrong. If you guys who have been commenting, if you've had some different experiences with it, but you can see this is 3rd season in. This is the experience that I'm having with it. I can't even get the guys who are number one on Austin Peay's number 1 on their list. I can't even get them interested. So I'm gonna see if I can pitch this guy. I'm literally running out of guys who are interested. So I'm just gonna visit him and pitch him location and hope that that's something that's important to him. Now, if I look at the recruits who are on my column watch list, I mean, this guy still does not have any interest in coming to our school. He's rated pretty highly. I've had him visit. Let me pitch him and visit him and pitch him playing time. Okay, now moving on to power forward. We've got a recruit there, Morton. Hopefully he'll decide to come to our school. If not, I'm going to have to keep working. Center. So we're really going downhill on this one. We lost Gainey, who looks like Gainey went elsewhere. So I wonder if I could pitch him playing time and get anything with that. And then back to point guard. I'm running out of... Man, this guy is terrible. So let's say full recruit list at point guard. Stars. I mean, there's some good ones left. I mean, we're not going to get any of these guys. Derek Jordan. He had very little interest in coming to our school, but what if I visit him? And no, I have none remaining. So I'll have to give that a go next week. Boy, this is getting down to the wire. 6 scholarships available. We've only got 2 offers out, and we've already been turned down by 1 to Tennessee Tech. Whew. That was frustrating. All right, so what do we got here? So Lance Jackson, Jim Wembley's gone, so I can. Jamel Emerson's gone, and Elton Waters. So Jim Wembley was the only positive here. So, jeez. Oh gosh. So I forget which. Did I visit Wilson? I can't remember. Let me go back to him. Shooting guard. I mean, I've got Curtis. We've already moved down on his list. Jermaine Green, we're moved up on his list. Gosh, this is really kind of frustrating. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, this is. I I know I started off saying that this is probably I like the challenge of this, but I'm not getting much right now, except some randomness that I'm not really liking too much. So let me see if I pitch this guy, if I can get him interested. Who was that? Jermaine Green. I can't host or visit. Oh, we're in the quiet period. I think I'm going to probably end it here and work on this a little bit offline, because I think this is just going to take a little bit more either thought or something. But Wembley is out. So Greg Mann, how's he doing? Third. Jamil Emerson, he's out. He didn't like the visit. I'm just going to go ahead and, I mean, we've got to get small forwards. We have none going into next year. So I'm really just going to have to start, I think, just start hoping I get some commits, because I know we still got some time, and maybe that'll happen too. Maybe we'll get lucky. But I have nobody interested. I don't understand what I'm doing here. Maybe you guys can chime in if you have some better suggestions, because I feel like I'm doing what I need to do, calling them, getting where they're interested, and then making pitches based around that. But again, I know that the challenge is going to be with being low prestige, but man, I can't even get 1-stars interested. And if that's the case, you're never going to be able to compete. I mean, I think it would really take the fun out of the game. Maybe you can put a lot of money into assistant coaches with development and just, like I said earlier, just blow off recruiting. But I don't think, the way I'm going now, I don't think I'm going to have any luck recruiting. This has been 3 seasons in, and it's been kind of like this with, I guess, the exception of McKinnis. I really have not gotten any decent recruits in the time that I've been doing this. So maybe I'll keep working at it here until we get to the start of the season. But like I say, if you guys got some more suggestions, I did take the suggestion of just, man, I tried international. I tried going outside the Southeast region. The problem I have with that is you're spending more money when you target those recruits out of your region, and I don't know that I'm going to have the budget left to do that. And I was getting nowhere. I mean, most all of them were not interested at all anyway, so I guess I wasn't spending too much money. But I'm feeling like I'm down to the wire if I can't get more scholarships out there to invest in. And look at what I got. I mean, these may not even commit. He went from first to third. Morton still first. I may have a good chance of getting him. Man, third. I think it's a toss-up. I lost every point guard option that I had. Now, this guy's a small forward out of Virginia. Maybe I'll try him again, but it's not looking too good. I got to be honest. But I'll look for your suggestions offline, and I'll probably finish up until we're to opening of the season. We're almost there now. It's like a month away. And I'll come back and let you know if I had any success with recruiting, and we'll go from there. But as always, I really appreciate the support on the channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next episode.